The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, the taxi union threatening strike. It's a look at the transportation industry this evening. Also tonight, South and Central F&M candidate Philippa Kelly says the airport there at the Governor's Harbour area is falling apart. It's something many residents, though, disagree with, saying the airport is in the best shape it's been in decades after extensive upgrades. And also the Free National Movement aiming to amend its constitution. We'll tell you the areas it plans on focusing on. Also, this weekend, the PLP hosting a module for aspiring candidates. It's all straight ahead. And so we have that and a lot more coming up for you this evening. This is Beyond the Headlines, Week in Review Fridays. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, the taxi cab union, backed by the Bahamas Trade Union of Congress, is preparing to take action to address long-term issues they feel authorities have dragged their feet on. We're going to get this story from Devontae Hanna and then come back and take a look.
All of you taxi drivers, when this president make that call, and it's going to be very soon, I can assure you that, because we're not going to drag this matter on too long. When we make that call, are you with me? Are you up to the task?
That action from Taxi Cab Union President Tyrone Butler while addressing his members in an urgent meeting on Monday is tonight taking shape as their umbrella union, the Trade Union Congress, and its president, Obie Ferguson, says plans are now being finalized to take action.
When you say action, what exactly does that mean? Does
Well,
that mean
in the trade union business, action meaning either demonstration or strike.
The outrage is born out of what cab drivers have called unfair treatment at the hands of authorities at the airport, hotels, and cruise port, allegedly offering livery plate drivers preferential treatment, ultimately cutting into their earnings. They've asked government to step in, but according to Ferguson, their cries have fallen on deaf ears.
They wanted those issues to be addressed, and a decision was made by them to do what any trade union or any labor worker would be committed to.
Well, in response, the Ministry of Transport in a statement revealed that they've met with the taxi cab drivers and hope to address the concerns transparently and work towards solutions that balance the interests of all parties. However, the taxi cab union led the general strike back in 1958, a moment pivotal to the country's quiet revolution leading to independence, significant labor reforms, and constitutional changes. And while some may say strike action is unnecessary, Ferguson begs to differ, arguing strikes in the Bahamas has led to where the country is today.
Could we see it in the coming weeks? Could we see it before the month is out? Or could it be next month sometime?
It could be before that. We have ongoing discussions with my colleagues in the taxi cab, because we're supporting them. Don't forget that now.
While being tight-lipped, Ferguson says nothing is off the table. Devontae Hanna, Eyewitness News.
This guy just wants your down.
Well, the taxi cab union there, of course, you saw the president speaking about what's going on. The president also said it's just a number of things that's happening. They feel that they are less favored. They feel as though it's unfair competition at the airport, for example. Just a number of things they have laid out over the last few days that has them in an agitated state. And obviously, as you saw, threatening strike action. The thing is, though, how significant is that in 2025 versus 1958? I ask because many Bahamians know our relationship now with the taxi cab. I mean, the only people who would perhaps hurt or feel the pinch are tourists. And how would they necessarily feel the pinch? I say that because Bahamians aren't necessarily served by taxi cabs anymore. And so we're going to jump in right there this evening here on Beyond the Headlines. This is something we also looked at last evening on the show. So we're going to jump in right there. The Week in Review crew is here. Beyond the Headlines contributors, Leslie Miller and Garth Rosborough. Good evening to both of you gentlemen. It's good to have you here.
Good evening, you. Good evening, Bahamas.
Good night, good night.
Your thoughts about the fact that the taxi cab union is agitating. They have the full support of the TUC, of course, that umbrella union, and President Obi Ferguson saying, listen, any day now, they say no weeks or months, like any day now, we could actually shut this part of the transportation industry down to get what it is that we want.
Well, that's people listening back there. Good to see you in studio. I guess we're so accustomed to everyone else jumping in. Listen, a negotiation is now being sought after. This is what I get from the taxi union. Mm-hmm. You want the government's attention. I just question why now. And Shanique, I know you're very familiar with this, being in your profession for quite some time. You know we're about to go into the slow season.
Yep.
You know the tourists will be trickling. You'll be begging for someone to come off that aircraft, someone to come off that boat, just to give you a job opportunity. Mm-hmm. If you want to strike now, why? You don't strike now. You strike like in Thanksgiving. You strike during the Christmas time. You strike during spring break. Why strike now? And this is just the issue. The issue is that you people, you want to speak with your mouth, but your heart is not in it. If your heart was truly in it, then you would sacrifice the times when the tourist numbers are higher.
It's just posturing, you think?
That's all it is. Yeah. It has to be. You're going to try to act a fool when no one is there to act a fool with you. There's no customers coming to you right now. I'm not going to listen to you. You don't have anything to lose. I don't have anything to lose. And I can wait you out. Now, if you're really serious, then you speak this way, like I said, in Thanksgiving, in Christmas.
You'd wait for November.
Wait for spring break. Yeah. Wait for the summer months. But right now, I don't think it's effective.
It appears to me that Obi Ferguson simply wants a fight. Something just edgy. He got to do something. Something got to happen.
Well, him or the Butler fella. I think it was the Butler
because of whatever happened with him and the PLP with that memorandum of understanding. He's still angry about it. And he just got to show his colors. He got to show the might that he has. And it's unfortunate, as you said, they're not going to gain much from it. No. Mind you, at the same time, I think every union that's in the tourism business has the right for full equality.
Of course.
That you shouldn't take one over the other, okay? Because all of them have a job to do, which is to assist the tourists and behemoths that comes here and try to have a nice time in our country. I think the time is most unfortunate. But I think Mr. Ferguson just need a fight. That's why it appears to me that something got to happen. Let me go there and do something.
This fight is questionable, and not even, Garth, I know you focused on the timing, but and you're right, the timing also is questionable, but or the wisdom of it. But Leslie, as you said, is he just seeking a fight?
Yeah,
because then this taxi, let's just deal with the taxi aspect of the transportation industry, not the bus, not the livery and luxury vehicle aspect of the transportation industry. Let's just look at the quality of the taxi industry and how it's fallen. Let's just talk about that. Let's just talk about, and I was speaking with someone just last evening after that show, and they were like, Shanique, do you realize we have gone from Mercedes-Benz to these little tin shed, these little corned beef cans, these little doggone Japanese vehicles, the little buses this big, and they drive like maniacs. So you afraid in these little piece of tin buses that you can flip and all this bunch of stuff, or these little piece of cars, the Passos that you have a taxi cab plate on it. We got to number one, stop joking and stop playing and raise the standards of this industry. So when you all fight and return, come back with better cars. What were you saying, Leslie?
It's interesting. When I was coming here today, this taxi driver, one of these little white buses, he overtook about 6 cars on the road.
See, that's the foolishness.
I mean, zoom, 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 zoom. Like this, I don't know. The government gave us too many licenses for untrained people in that industry. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry want a license after the election, and they push people to get the license. And I think it's overcrowded. The system is overcrowded now. And they deal with these vehicles that could get in serious accidents and cause their lives.
With the people in their vehicles and others on the streets. I mean, the thing is, because there should be a moratorium right now because the population is only so big.
Need to be placed
they already don't service the population. They look for the tourist dollar. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. We have now adjusted and moved into a different direction.
A lot of tourists are complaining about them ripping them off with these exorbitant costs.
That is another thing. You cannot predict one single fare to say, oh no, in the Bahamas, from the airport to Bahamar, it's such and such. Oh no. Each cab driver will give you something different.
Listen, I had a friend of mine just 2 weeks ago, had some goods at the airport, and they said, let the taxi bring it there by Sunbury Springs, which is what, maybe 10 miles from the airport at the most. I had to pay the guy $65. I said, what would you say? Say $65 a day for what? For bringing the goods here. 4 bags or 5 bags.
You were charged, sir.
Yeah, I said that's criminal.
No. Besides the fare, you just know that you are also charged for each bag. You can't. They charge now for each
bag,
sir.
Why would I pay a tax?
This is what I am reliably informed. You now pay if you get on in a cab and you have a bag. There's your fare, and then there is say $5 or so per bag. This is what's going on, gentlemen. That's what I said.
Okay. I was trying to share too with you that the union presidents, they have an obligation to their members to be strong. Right now, we're in national political season. Right now,
this is the time to take advantage.
Everyone is campaigning. These presidents are also campaigning for their position. And it's just sad to say that knowing now that their members are complaining, and they may have a legitimate cause, but at this particular time, I see nothing short, Shanique Miller, of a political campaign. They're trying to appease these people, knowing very well that nothing's going to come out of this.
Yeah, well, don't fool your members, though.
This is what politics is all about.
Because truly, everyone wants their industry and their jobs to be more secure, to work under better working conditions. But don't just be posturing just to let them say you got it done or you did something and was mouthing off in the media for a minute. No, let it be meaningful.
Bear in mind, the minister already reached out to them, and she said that she'll have a meeting with them very shortly, and she will take care of both parties to see that all is equal among those two entities. And I have much faith in them.
So then you are trying to say that they are just not minded to care.
Yeah. That's what I said.
It's just politics.
So okay then.
Just
Well, I'll tell you.
politics,
Well, here's a question for both.
you need to fight.
Will we continue on that? Because Belinda Wilson has certainly pulled out the boxing gloves. And here's what she said. She said she claims that Obi Ferguson has fallen out of grace with the Prime Minister after enjoying such an incredible and warm, fuzzy relationship. This is what Belinda Wilson is saying. However, the president of the Bahamas National Alliance, that's of Trade Union Congress, who ridiculed the TUC for crying over spilled milk. This is Wilson in relation to a pre-election memorandum of understanding signed between the then opposition PLP and the umbrella union. Ferguson says, call it what you want, Belinda, but a deal is a deal. Take a listen.
The Prime Minister will confirm to you, I have no issue with him. And nobody can say that. I am hearing nonsense. The TUC has no problem with the Prime Minister. So I don't know what the issue is. I'm saying the Prime Minister wouldn't tell you he has a problem with the TUC. Now, some other people may do that for obvious reasons. But we have a document signed. We ain't betrayed that document. We are complaining because certain things are not being fulfilled on a timely basis. And we thought these things were basic. We say we're gonna do what is necessary to help the PLP to win the election. And we did that. So we put some things, and they said this is in the MOU. If you look at the MOU, check it out properly, you would see where it says, if you all help us to do this, these are the things that we will do. We're not saying it ain't gonna happen. We're just reminding the government that was the deal. When you cut a deal, you cut a deal. Might not go quite the way you wanted to go, but it's a deal. So what are we supposed to do? Sit around, twiddle our thumbs and expect something to happen? Look at the living wage.
Listen, did you all hear that? Did you all? Because I ain't gonna tell Justin repeat, repeat, roll back selector. I ain't gonna do that. Did you all hear Obi Ferguson? So then obviously some feelings are involved, and he in his feelings, because you heard him. A part of what he said, we made, in that MOU, after it was signed or before or during, we said we can do what it takes to help the PLP win. So now then, he is saying, man, hold up, man, we did what it takes or took. You all won. What's up? So now it seems what he is doing to say, okay, we did what it took for you all to win. We can do what it takes for you all not to win. What is the game, gentlemen, is what I'm saying. So when we see labor unions flexing muscles then and doing stuff, and the taxi union threatening strike action and all this other stuff going on and more agitation, you all see now what's playing out. Is it all a game?
The unions in this country had no impressionable input in how the last election went, little or nothing. And I found from my own experience being with BEC, Water and Sewage over the last 30 years, they got little or no say with their membership.
Well, they don't.
They cannot tell the membership who to vote for. The membership, they even listen to them. Because who goes to the meetings? Less than 2% of the persons who are in these unions. That's hogwash. And he knows that. They caused the PLP election.
That's a strong statement.
The PLP won because people was tired of Minnis. Let's face it. They don't vote for no government. They must vote against the government. So he may take credit for it in his mind. That's why I say I think to me, he's an angry man. He believes that he was responsible for the win at the polls, which is a damn right lie. Not even close. He had no say in who voted for who in that election, is my submission. None.
You know, it's strange enough that while I was the leader for the short time of the People's National Coalition, Mr. Leslie Miller, I went and I sought out the presidents and leaders of these unions. Of course, none of them paid attention to us. They said they were disgruntled with the government at that particular time and they wanted this change. Okay. And so I made myself available. I knew this day would come tonight, Shanique Miller, when I could say this, that you are the same people who turned your back on people who wanted to work with you to change, and you cut a deal. You cut a deal like how Judas cut a deal with the chief priest. You cut the deal that wants to take the messiahs of this country and put 30 pieces of silver in your own pocket. And now you're facing the rope from Jonas George. For some of you who know what Jonas George is, eh? Yeah. And so you want me to feel sorry for you? Absolutely not. What I am very tired.
He just showed his whole hand in that statement, his entire hand.
I am extremely upset at the fact.
For the win.
These people are playing politics with the lives of their members.
That's it right there.
And they're disrespecting their members. And you members need to wake up and understand that PLP and F&M is not the only political game in this country. And you need to understand the game. Let them stop posturing. Let them stop leading you like sheep to the slaughter. These people are playing you. Do not allow them to do so.
Well, the unions have been playing. Oh, Ferguson right there just played it out. I'm not sure if he think through what he said. I mean, many people are, you hear sayings out there about what it is he's upset about. He wants the government to stand on what was promised
and give them $1 million
and get the labor, get the House of Labor,
cutting deals,
get the House of Labor done. People are saying it's other personal, alleging it's other personal benefits that he's after. Yes. I don't know that. That's alleged. That's what's being reported. But I can tell you this. Don't try take these people for no donkey, eh?
Thank you.
For no donkey, because they see the season of donkeyness. That's exactly what it is. And so it really is quite distasteful. I don't care where it is that you think you fall in any political divide, but for unions to be playing games, because I mean, they get money out your salary every week.
Okay.
They flip in, benefiting and paying and doing whatever and all the stuff they're doing. They have multi-millions of dollars wherever it is they have it. And as you hear what the deal is, what the little deals are going on, that right there is the most vexing thing. As I try and relax and calm down and drink some water, we're going to take a break and come back with more Week in Review. By the way, you all know what's happening this weekend? The PLP has its module for its candidates or those hopefuls. The F&M, the aspiring candidates, the F&M is attempting to and has plans to amend its constitution. Leroy Major, somewhere in the middle there, saying, you know what I mean? I know y'all, what y'all saying. Would you think, where you think I should go? We can talk about all that after the break.
Carrie's Fabric and Uniform Store wants to get you ready for back to school.
They have ready-made uniforms and uniform fabrics for almost every school in the Bahamas.
At Carrie's, find skirts, blouses, shirts, jumpers, boy shorts and long pants, neckties, socks, and more.
You can even have your uniform skirts custom made.
Check out our selection of embroidered cotton shirts.
That's Carrie's Fabric and Uniform Store on Mackey Street.
Call us at 393-0758 or 817-0758.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Hey guys, the IL Cares Foundation invites you to our Back to School giveaway on August 23rd at the University of the Bahamas, Poinciana Drive entrance. Join us for a day of free school supplies, food, and fun as we help prepare students for a successful school year. We are also going to be on the Family Islands on August 23rd from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. All are welcome, so come on down and support the community with IL Cares. At IL Cares, we care.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madeira Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Well, of course, now we're going to get into some topics right here. I will start, gentlemen, I will start this evening in this segment. Pull up a chair, you all. Let's just get into it, right? It's the season after all. And so this weekend, the entire weekend, I'm understanding, in fact, right now, this evening, Saturday and Sunday, the Progressive Liberal Party is hosting something called a module for aspiring candidates. Now, everybody who has any interest, inkling, been canvassing, been out there campaigning and trying to put, drop little nuggets here and there and just feel their way out, if they are serious, they're going to be there right now, tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. Who you all think will be showing up? That's what I'd like to know. I want to know who you all think will be showing up. But listen, welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Leslie Miller and Garth Rosborough. Gentlemen, obviously the PLP is trying to streamline its ship, streamline its candidates, its candidates who they will officially present to the Bahamian people, and by going through these hopefuls, who do we expect possibly will be showing up there this weekend?
Go ahead, Leslie. You spoke with Michael.
We got 2 new entrants, 2 new personalities that's going to be involved. This conclave, I believe, will start at 6 o'clock this evening. Sebastian, who's a well-known figure in this country, I believe if he still has in mind to run and go to the halls of Parliament, he would have to be present and be a part of that enclave. And also the good gentleman from the Tribune,
Robert Karen.
Mr. Robert Karen.
He's a huge family.
What do you mind?
The Puches.
Good background. His grandfather was a member of Parliament for that same constituency. His uncle, Peter Puch, everybody knows, is a fiery member of Parliament, did his job well. People got great respect for him. And he now would wish to be the 3rd member of the family as a grandson to make his contribution. What is interesting with him, though, I had a long talk with him day before yesterday, and he has no aspiration to become a cabinet minister. He just wants to go and do his job.
So he wants to just go to Michael and serve the people.
Serve the people. He has enough going on for him, but the thing that he's doing now.
Yes,
with
I know.
The weather,
yeah, major investments.
That's very, very heavy on investments. And who can make a valuable contribution. I've spoken to people there. He's going to get with Shane Gibson early next week to sit down and have a talk with Ms. Gibson. I think it'd be pivotal in his campaign, and he's ready to go. So the good thing is that those other aspiring candidates don't have to worry about him trying to take anything from them by wanting to be a cabinet minister. He just wants to be a good MP, like his grandfather was and his uncle was. And I'm sure he's going to be welcome. Both members would be welcome.
Quite interesting to see people like, and by the way, did you all get what's even common between the two? They are both media moguls, very powerful men in media. Besides their other business interests, but they actually are very powerful men in media. But as you all know, I've been really since the start of the show, had a nice relationship with the people of Michael. Different islands for different things in the constituency of Michael, whether I was talking about what's going on, what's not happening, how they need assistance, how maybe certain members of parliament weren't showing up, whether it's before and whether it's now. They feel like, listen, this is finally Michael's time. Should the gentleman get the nomination, and obviously should he go on to be elected, they feel that this looks good for them. Forget anybody else and everybody else. They now want an opportunity for Michael to actually have something going on. And it's he is in its economy.
Yeah. I am excited at this time just to also witness this situation. And I'll tell you why. One seat of interest right here on Beyond the Headlines was that of Iram Lewis's seat, which is Central Grand Bahama. Who's going to be the person who's going to be contesting that seat? That is where I believe some excitement is actually going to take place. And we're also looking at Long Island. We saw some 4 young men, and Shanique and Peggy mentioned they were so handsome.
Me and Peggy say we
they ain't as handsome as me, Shanique, but anyhow.
You know, I
Leslie, you think they're handsomer than you?
I reserve. Leslie, you see these men?
Well, I met one of their mothers.
I mean, I don't go looking at fellas.
Listen, Long Island is where it's forget Michael. Forget Michael.
I love the young lady from Ilutra.
We can get to her in a minute. Forget Michael, forget Port Charlotte. Long Island is where it's at.
And then we have to also look at the fact that is the Progressive Liberal Party going to entertain anybody for the Killarney seat? Is the Duncombe gentleman going to return?
Interesting.
Or is there going to be a new face, or will they just simply not accept anybody for Killarney?
What about Southern Shores?
Well, Southern Shores is still left in the air because they're talking now about Pastor Leroy Major.
He's a pastor?
Of course he is.
Oh, okay.
Pilgrim Baptist, isn't that?
Off and on.
Okay, went off and on if he won, but he's still a pastor. And, it's be interesting to see that he will be attending, or he'll be actually be renominated. I don't know. But definitely will be interested to see if Robin Lyons shows up at the PLP headquarters.
Oh, she has an interest as well?
Well, she's going to be interested. I spoke to her personally, and she says, if they would have her, the Prime Minister would have her, she would definitely serve. And she said it's all about service. It's not about cabinet position or any other positioning. She just wants to serve the people.
So that's two people, Leslie, saying that they're not interested in cabinet positions. But listen, you all, I want to get right here. We talked about this a minute ago, so let's just jump right in. Fort Charlotte is shaping up to be one of the battleground areas in the next general election. Since 1997, the Progressive Liberal Party has won the seat 3 times and the Free National Movement twice. Well, we're gonna take a nice little inside look. Laurencia Smith has more.
With veteran politician Alfred Sears bowing out of frontline politics, the race for the Fort Charlotte constituency is wide open and heating up. In addition to the 2 major political parties, the Coalition of Independents is set to contest the seat as well, naming Daphne Johnson as its candidate. Eyewitness News was unable to speak with Johnson directly, but we did speak with the COI's leader, Lincoln Bain. He says the issues like inflation and crime are top concern for the people of Fort Charlotte, but adds that the constituency has great potential.
There's also more economic opportunities that could be given to the people of Fort Charlotte. There's a tourism area in their constituency, actually, and they should be allowed to benefit from that. There should be more opportunities with Fort Charlotte. We need to bring that to life and give people in that constituency opportunities to be vendors and other things in that constituency. There are beaches in the area that we need to take advantage of.
On the F&M's ticket, 30-year-old Travis Robinson is the aspiring candidate for the area. Robinson is no stranger to politics. Back in 2017, he made headlines when he unseated political giant, the late Bernard Nottage, in the Baines and Grantstown constituency. He says he's committed to going wherever the F&M needs him, but he insists it's time for politics to get back to serving the people and not personal agendas.
Inflation right now, that's definitely topping the list for persons who I speak to when I go door to door and hear their frustration, grocery bills, and compounded by all of the other bills that will come about in terms of electricity as well. Just the high electricity costs, it's a major challenge.
Meanwhile, over on the PLB side, with Sears stepping down, speculation is swirling over who will contest the seat. Several names have been mentioned, including a current senator, a businessman, and a local lawyer. For context, Sears was first elected to Parliament in 2002 when he defeated the F&M's Shivago Lang. He ran again in 2012, but was replaced by Dr. Andre Rollins. In 2017, Sears lost the seat to the F&M's Mark Humes, only to reclaim Fort Charlotte during the snap election of 2021 for the PLP.
As a member of Parliament, it is about the people whom I represent, and likewise, in line with the philosophy of our party, it is my hope that that commitment and of service will be continued.
In the last election for the Fort Charlotte area, Sears secured some 63.2% of the votes. The F&M's candidate, Dramico Archer, secured around 27.27%. Meanwhile, Johnson of the COI also garnered about 4.7% of the votes. Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Well, that's a good breakdown on how the last election sort of played out in the votes and the percentages of the votes. But gentlemen, very, very quickly, now we've talked about it already because we have said that perhaps Sabas Bastian, if he is indeed very serious, he will, you feel, Leslie, you going out on record saying he's the front for what? Oh, for the PLP?
Yeah, the PLP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, of course, he's appeared a few times with Alfred Sayers in the back-to-school event and a number of events. Garth, anything you want to jump in and say there?
Well, we saw the young lady, what's her name, Daphne Johnson, and we saw Travis Robinson, and we're hearing the name of Sebastian, for this particular seat. We said the PLP won it 3 times, the F&M won it twice. We all felt that the F&M had an opportunity in this election to be strong and possibly be victorious, but we have not yet seen that performance. If that performance be true, then it doesn't look well for the Free National Movement until they show some sign of strength. So as Travis Robinson is now making the complaint that Bahamian people are now suffering, we ask the question now, what are you now doing about the suffering? Because if you're doing something now, then it can merit that a change of better will come. Until then, of course, it's looking more like Sebastian is out front. The COI is being mentioned. I've not seen any strength coming from them as yet in Fort Charlotte, so I cannot comment on that. But I would say definitely, if all things be as they seem, it looks like a Progressive Liberal Party victory in Fort Charlotte to make number 4.
Definitely.
Gentlemen, the Free National Movement is set to amend its constitution. They're looking at issues like constituency associations and perhaps what these constituency associations are allowed to do, maybe how much power they have. And it's happening because, as you all know, the constituency associations and the Free National Movement have been extremely vocal this election season. Bamboo Town, Killarney is still, but Killarney is just saying, hold up, this our show. And quite a number of others. I think people are saying South Southern Shores, South Beach, a number of them, maybe perhaps even one or two in Grand Bahama.
Farmy Islands too.
Farmy Islands. So the F&M has really, you're right, South and Central Eleuthera.
Yes,
So the F&M has really had its fair share of trying to contain these constituency associations. So it wants to amend the Constitution for that. People feel as though it's an attempt to kind of have them say, shh, according to the Constitution. It also wants to see how social media factors in terms of elections and advertisements and how the party kind of involves that. Your thoughts on where they want to go with that?
I don't see them going anywhere with anything right now. It's just too confusing for me. I would want to say as a leader that you want your constituencies to feel as if they are empowered and that they have every persuasion when it comes to their choice of candidate. Even if you're telling them a lie, even if you're trying to deceive them, you still have to make them feel as if this is all about you. And based on this conversation we're having tonight, I feel as if we're looking for an avenue to simply just usurp the power of the people and to put our own people in place for our own purposes. I don't think that's a good formula. I think what the Free National Movement has to now discover is how do we apologize and make amends to make the people feel that you are part of a great organization in preparing for
Because
an
I mean,
election.
that is where victory comes in, huh?
Yes.
Or at least likability then, when people feel that they have a say,
Yes.
especially by way of the constituency associations.
Yes.
You know, the constituency associations always played a pivotal role in the selection of candidates for all of those areas. I mean, I know the first time I was thinking about running in 1982, had to go to the constituency, they would make the recommendation to you. The fight was rarely at the constituency level of who the candidate's going to be. Now, what happened, the new leadership at F&M have usurped their powers in saying, we are the ones. So you don't really count. You remember the woman down in Bamboo Town raised eternal hell. And the gentleman who told them that he was not going to vote for them anymore unless they send Renwood Wells there. And I think, and then the other areas flared up. The situation with Dr. Minnis, where they want to send, I think a young lady now wants to go in there for whatever reason.
Yeah,
But, you know, people are not taking these things lightly. What I don't understand, you're having a convention where people can't vote. What is supposed to have a convention to do what set the record straight or to bring all those people in line? But who you are bringing to the convention may not be a fair representation of your voters out there in those respective constituencies. Because remember, only those who are card-carrying members and who are members of the branch would be able to have a say in that. I don't know how that's going to work. And where's the venue going to be to enable you to have, you know, hopefully a decent array of persons being inclined to become involved in those discussions that are very important at this juncture in the political season. Very, very important.
We got to skip all that nonsense and that theatrics. Skip it. The circus, skip it.
Yeah.
You're simply saying to the Bahamian people who are great members of the Free National Movement that your opinion, your choice doesn't count. That's all you're simply saying. And I don't know how you're going to win an election like that, Shanique Miller. I can't figure that out. I think these people deserve more, and you need to allow them to be involved. And let them, in the position that they're in right now with all of the discord, me personally, I'd let the people have their way. I mean, it happened in the Bible, where the people say, crucify him. They want him crucified. And what did Pilate say? I wash my hands off of this. I have no part in this. Let the people have their wish.
They're not going to be enthused to go and campaign.
This is what I'm saying.
For the respective candidates.
This is what I'm saying.
You're going to have a flat campaign.
Well,
that's very dangerous ground they're treading on.
The F&M at about now continues to find itself in a very sticky situation. Well, speaking of sticky situations, I'm not sure how sticky this is, but certainly interesting. The Killarney Association is standing tall behind Dr. Hubert Minnis. You all remember on this show this week, I had former tourism minister and member of parliament, Dionisio de Aguilar, on, and he said he renewed his call. Dr. Minnis, listen, man, you have done it all. Prime Minister, cabinet minister, excellent MP. Come on. How about stepping aside and letting the F&M move forward? Take a listen or take a look.
Saying that we're disunified. And Dr. Minnis's position is contributing to that, right?
It is.
And we're not disunified. 75% of the people voted for Michael Pinto. We're clear on who our leader is. He's taking us into the next general election. That's clear as day, right? And so, you know, Dr. Minnis, you have, I always ask this question. Does Dr. Minnis really just want to stay on the scene to be an MP? I mean, he's not going to be Prime Minister.
No.
Because he's not leader of the Free National Movement.
Right.
And he's not leader of the Progressive Liberal Party. And he ain't leader of no party.
But what is wrong with...
So does he really want to go from the highest office in the land?
Yes.
Where he's the Prime Minister.
Yes.
In the middle of it, making all the decisions, just to sit in the back there and, let people come to him and say, fix my road and put speed bump here? And
what kind of...
Is that what he wants to do?
Perhaps.
No.
Perhaps.
And so let me say something too.
Go ahead.
If I had an employee at Superwash, right, who is constantly working against me, who clearly ain't on my run, and I'm the president of Superwash, and I got this employee, my vice president, who clearly running, ain't on my run, trying to thwart every move that I make. Ain't walking lockstep with me. Ain't coming to no meeting with me. Ducking and weaving around me.
But of course, no. You
know I can fire him, right?
You don't need to have that person anywhere around you.
And Dr. Minnis, all I'm asking is, you've served in the highest office of the land. Do the honorable thing. You're 73. You're going to be 73 years old at the next election. You served for 20 years as the member of Parliament for Killarney. We're thankful. We're grateful. I'm grateful for what he did for me.
Are you a resident of Killarney?
I am a resident of Killarney.
What kind of MP has he been?
He's been very good. But the fact of the matter is now, but he ain't working with the leadership of the Free National Movement.
Listen, I want you to listen to this. Justin, let's just play a little clip of this. Well, I'll tell you this. When we come back, we're going to see exactly how Minnis responded to that. And without... Well, you'll see. You'll see. We're back right after this. Take notes.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Well, Leslie and Garth say, listen, Shanique, hold up. When are we going to talk? I say, hold on, wait a minute. Let's just hear from Dr. Minnis, who this week went out with his team and said, listen, hold on, guys. I ain't got no time for them. It's back to school. Let me show them exactly what I could put on and what I could do. And also, look who is also in this video. Take a look at this.
Today, we're here in the Killarney constituency with about 40, 50 individual supporters. We are giving out flyers to support the back to school on Saturday because it's our view that the children are the future of the Bahamas. We want to be sure that they are prepared, they're ready to take their role and their leadership role as the leaders of the Bahamas. We ask the children to go back to school and focus. Listen to your parents, listen to your teachers. Do your your work, try to read as much as you can. You are the future and the leaders of the Bahamas. See you all on Saturday and great success in school. But I think good.
Well, you all saw, of course, Diagula says he is a constituent. Also, you saw perhaps one of the most famous constituents of Killarney, former Prime Minister Perry Christie there as well, who may have been going in or coming out of the store and just got caught up right there talking. Listen, let's just jump right in. Garth Rosborough, Leslie Miller, your thoughts about how, listen, Diagula say, Minnis, do this good thing. Be honorable and do this. But Minnis obviously is staying on brand, message, and focused.
Well, first of all, with the person of Mr. Diagula, I think we appreciate him nationally, especially here in the Island of Providence. He has a great business. I don't think he has one of those in Killarney, though. I have not seen one. That might help, first of all, if you're really interested in Killarney. You got some people out in Gambia and some other places who could need that little thing. But just saying, sir, that we hear you, but the truth of service is that even though you may be the chief priest, you're also the chief servant. You are actually at the bottom and not really at the top. And so if your interest is really the welfare of people and there's a void to serve people, when does that service ever stop? I think there has to be a continuance. As you said, he's been doing a great job. So who has someone that performs in a great way and then asks them to stop? Is there anyone else to fill those shoes, like the Ramming brothers may actually say? Who's going to fill those shoes? You've not even shown us somebody who's even capable of filling his shoes. You've not shown us anybody in leadership. You've not shown us anybody in Killarney. What are you speaking about? You are a great businessman, but definitely on this particular situation, I cannot agree with you. I think you're a little bit off. You sound strong. You sound good, but there's no strength to what you're saying.
I think Dr. Minnis is certainly going to run again. We all know that he's already made that clear. And I believe that at the end of the day, you may find Dr. Minnis in Parliament and the current leader of the opposition out of Parliament. It's going to be a hell of an intrigue situation that's taking place down in Killarney, and I don't know who they're going to send against him. My advice to the PLP again is do not send a candidate to run against Dr. Minnis. It makes no sense. They cannot win. And let's see what happens at the end of the day. Let Dr. Minnis run and do his thing. That's the fight between he and the leader of the opposition.
Well, the other thing to also recognize is that when our former Prime Minister, Perry Christie, was there and approached him at that particular venue, you didn't see any animosity. You just saw a joyous occasion, a joyous greeting, a smile. And Christie very well knows he's a very intelligent man. He's a people's person. And if you saw the crowd of people behind Dr. Minnis, I thought I just saw a church just now. I saw a choir. Yeah. I mean, this thing is going to be live, and I guarantee you, not only here nationally in the Bahamas that watch Beyond the Headlines, the people from around the world, Shanique Miller, will be watching Beyond the Headlines to see how Killarney plays out.
Garth, I thank you for that, because just last night, I got a message from a university student in Kentucky who says, Shanique, very often we gather around the television and watch Beyond the Headlines. So hello to you.
And then before Kentucky, you had one from France,
from Italy.
Italy.
That's right, yes, Italy. So thank you all so much for watching wherever you are, of course, around the nation, on every family island. But I want to say a special hello to you all and welcome aboard. It's good to have you all here. Let's just quickly jump in. Is Philippa Kelly, the F&M standard bearer for Central and South Eleuthera, looking to score political points or missing the target miserably? And I ask that because she says, listen, that Governor's Harbour International Airport is falling down and the government is failing miserably. Now, earlier this month, they had a sort of a drainage leak, which, according to reports, has been long repaired by the airport authority. But they had this drainage leak. And so she said, listen, hold up, man, this is just an indication of where the government is falling down and failing on Family Island infrastructure, not just Governor's Harbour International Airport, but elsewhere. Now, the people of Eleuthera, Governor's Harbour in particular, took exception to it because they said, are you kidding? This airport looks, if you didn't know any better, like a brand new facility. Where's Ms. Kelly going? Just trying to say things to perhaps maybe hopefully resonate or get people's attention and hopefully trend, but not quite being honest with whatever her assessments are. Your thoughts on where sometimes candidates find themselves when they are trying, obviously, to put messages out there to address issues or what they may think are issues out there in their various areas, but are just going about it, I don't know if it's a right or wrong way, but in a way that is not altogether as honest as it should be.
Yes.
This is a seat where you can be easily torn. Mr. Clay Sweeting, of course, is very charming, and many people love him. And Philippa Kelly has also a similar charm on the female perspective. As you look at her, she's very pleasing on the eyes to the people of the Bahamas, because that's the type of people you like, beautiful people with the parents, and you keep yourself well. But when it comes to politics, politics is not for the lazy. And I think Mr. Leslie Miller, that's sitting in the studio with you today, he's attested to those lazy MPs, you need to buy a note or cube.
Yep.
Because politics is not a lazy man's sport or lazy woman's sport. When you want to complain about anything in our country, you first of all, when you attend these modules, you need to insist that you understand what governance is truly all about. Who is responsible for anything in this country? You want to blame a politician, or do you blame the PS? Who is responsible for actually signing off on these projects? We've had conversation about Brave. They were saying there's some people who are impeding progress in this country, and they will have to be dealt with. And so what I would encourage Ms. Philippa Kelly to do, because we like you, we do like you, go ahead and truly understand how to get things done. This has been the downfall of aim in politics over the last 25 years. We've had people coming into politics, they have no understanding of politics. They think they're going to go in there today and change something tomorrow, and then we see they're the ones that have to change and they have to comply, exactly. And then the country goes down the tube. So I'm just encouraging, ma'am, please do some more research, and when you speak, make sure that you're speaking with clarity and speaking solidly to know that this is actually the situation that we can correct.
I would employ the young lady to, first of all, before you speak to the press and try to get one-upmanship on your competitor, go and visit the site. Because if you haven't done that, and you're just playing a guessing game to try to down the person who's responsible, you're going to get in trouble and get embarrassed. And this appeared to be a similar case, where just to get headline, you would say it isn't done, but the residents of the constituency came back and said what you said was untrue. Be careful what you say, because once you said it,
can't take it back.
People are going to hold you to it.
Yeah.
And if they find you to be a liar, they're going to lose faith in you and they're not going to vote for you. Be very, very careful. Don't just try to get headlines for headlines' sake. Like I always say, I ain't gonna lie on nobody, but I ain't gonna lie for nobody. Be honest and speak the truth.
Yes, gentlemen.
That's what I advise you to do, madam.
Gentlemen, good points, by the way. And you know, moving forward, Ms. Kelly, you are in one of those seats that we will perhaps, or constituencies rather, that we will be watching very closely. But again, you can't come out just swinging blindly. That's not going to benefit your campaign. I want to talk about this. You all know I had some major heavy shows this week. One of them was with BPL, because I'll tell you, Bhakti Luthra, they are among the many the consumers who are angry at BPL. It's been so many years, and because of the major growth and expansion of Ilutra's economy in so many ways, the strain on BPL has just now been shown, and it's been proven, not just now, for many, many months, in fact, for a few years. Again, an age-old problem. Well, get this, you all. There might be some headways being made. Now, you all watched that show on Tuesday evening, but get this, later this week, they also spoke with the wider media. Meanwhile, of course, regional manager for the Family Islands, this is BPL, Pedro Marcello, is asserting that the energy load in Harbor Island, Ilutra, has been balanced. I'm excited to hear what this means, because, Lord, I too am rooting for Ilutra, as officials expressed optimism about the vexing power woes being a thing of the past in Harbor Island right now. And of course, they've moved on to the mainland. Now, Marcello provided a comprehensive update of the model being utilized by the Bahamas Power and Light technicians to provide reliable energy on the island that's seeing a drive in tourism activity and has been for quite a number of years now. The update at the Office of the Prime Minister came as residents and business operators on that part of the island have lamented that power issues that stem from power generation failures and issue outraged consumers said that have disrupted their daily lives and, of course, negatively impacted business operations. However, the question remains, could this power balance be maintained moving forward? That is the big question, as the settlement has been crippled by energy woes, of course, in the past. Here's Marcello.
BPL, which was BEC at the time, we acquired these operations, Eleuthera Mainland and Harbour Island, from Eleuthera Power and Light during the late 1980s. So when we acquired it in the 80s, it perhaps was already 30, 40 years old. So 30, 40 years old, this is now 2025. So let's say we acquired it in 1988, so 12 plus 25, be up to what, 37, 37 plus 30, be almost up to 70 years. We still have issues with old poles, old transformers. Some of the lines don't have the current carrying capacity, what they should, because Eleuthera is a booming economy. So what we're doing is, that's why we came up with this plan, so we could target those areas. And now we have to put in additional substations, so we could eventually get it to the point that we need to get it to. That's why we have all the power stations, and we have the power stations trying to get, because you could have all the lines in the world if you don't have the generators working. That's why we focus primarily on trying to get those generators up and going.
So, of course, what he is repeating and giving more details to is what the top executive said to me. Of course, you all saw that show. I had the minister, and then I had the CEO, I had the chairman, and they basically kind of alluded to, like, stay tuned, you're going to hear some good news, the fact that we are trying to deal with Eleuthera one area at a time. So Harbour Island looks good. Gentlemen, very, very quickly, if you could just jump in and even just a sentence about the good news this is for Harbour Island, if only.
Well, Harbour Island would be, that whole northern Eleuthera area would be something that we can keep our eyes on. And if it works there, of course, we're looking for it to work in other places in the Bahamas. We keep in mind places like Ragged Island, that is now solar friendly and totally solar. If this model continues to work, BPL, you have a lot of work to do. I've cried for competition in this country in terms of this type utility, but until that shows up one day, we're just going to have to work with what we have. The grid is old, it's antiquated, and it's going to take a whole lot of work to change it out. Leslie Miller.
I think everybody should be happy that the burden is off the backs of the people that live on that wonderful island. It's one of our hubs in tourism, and BC should be congratulated for doing a wonderful job and continue through the rest of the family islands, especially New Providence. Keep up the good works.
Yeah, by the way, they were also very happy that, Lord, let's pray, y'all. Before I say this, let's pray. Dear Lord, there's been less load shedding this summer so far in New Providence.
Yes.
You all notice that?
Yes.
They load shedded today, 6 hours.
Who load shedded?
Right outside of Golden Gates off of Firefield Road. 6 hours.
Listen, I thank you all so much for hanging out with me this week. Next week, a big surprise for you on Monday's show. That's right, that's coming up. Something we talked about tonight. We can get into more details on that. I thank, of course, this entire show, Week in Review Fridays, Leslie Miller, Garth Roseborough, thank you so much. Thank you all so much for tuning in this evening and for the entire week. It's been awesome having you hang out with me, and I look forward to seeing you right back here on Monday evening for the entire Week on the Headlines team. I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a blessed weekend, everyone.